All my YouTube video intros are the same.
Thomas Alex Norman here. Thomas Alex Norman here. Thomas Alex Norman here. Thomas Alex Norman.
Hey, what's up? It's Thomas Alex Norman here. Stupid.
How can I stand out? How can I cut through the noise? What if I used Hollywood camera techniques to make a YouTube video intro?
Wait, why are you suddenly American?
Well, we were talking about Hollywood, right? That's in Cali, dude.
Oh, so you change accent based on what I'm thinking? What?
It's funny because you sound like Harry Potter.
You sound like you're called Chad.
I am called Chad. I'm your inner Chad.
All right, guys, so in this video, we're gonna be creating a YouTube video intro using 5 different Hollywood camera techniques that will hopefully make it stand out.
We're going to be using a camera slider to create unique movements that until recently have only been reserved for the Hollywood elite. We're in an exciting time because so much filmmaking technology is progressing and awesome tools like these have become more widely accessible and are now falling into the hands of mere peasants, like Harry Potter here.
Oh, Chad, that's not even funny anymore.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, I'll stop.
Good. And by the way, Rhino Sliders did send me this gear, but no, this video is not sponsored.
First, for comparison's sake, let's make a quick basic setup. We're going to pretend the slider is a tripod and keep the camera in one place. Shine the light at the subject's face, and let's go.
Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and in this video damn it, I was gonna make a joke.
So here the lighting is quite nice. It's a typical kind of YouTube studio setup, but it doesn't really stand out. Okay, let's start with the Hollywood camera techniques and move on to setup number 1. This first setup is going to be dollying forward. This movement is often used to establish a scene in movies because it brings the audience towards the subject or action.
So what we've basically done is set up a forward dollying movement that is going to only move a couple of feet, but what it's going to do is add a ton of depth, a ton of dynamicness when we are establishing this YouTube video. So let's go. Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to B-roll your way out of any situation.
Notice how just by the fact that the camera is moving through the space steadily, it makes everything look a lot more dynamic, and potentially like everything was a bigger production. Next up, in setup number 2, we're going to be dollying forward from a lower angle whilst dynamically tilting up. By positioning the camera lower, we can make our subject look more like an authority, because as the audience, we're looking up at them. And this guy needs that, because, obviously, he's a peasant.
So we're going to do something like this. We're going to start further back, not so tilted up, so the camera is going to be tilted down. And what we're going to be doing is moving the camera forwards, stopping, and before we set that second keyframe, make sure we're tilting up. Hey, what's up? Thomas Alex Norman here. And if you're feeling unstable, I'm going to show you how to use a gimbal to smoothen out your life.
As you can see, here the movement is slightly more complex, and the camera is moving on the tilt axis as well as moving itself in space. Makes for a pretty cool shot. In setup number 3, we're going to be tracking the camera left to right, whilst keeping our subject in the middle of the frame.
Okay, so now we've got the slider parallel to our subject here. Keyframe number 1 this time is going to be obviously pointing directly at the subject, and it's going to be starting on the left-hand side of the slider itself. So we're going to keyframe that in. We're then going to move it to the right, and the key thing here is we're going to keep it and pan it so it stays on our subject there. So the chair is always in the center, even though it moves from left to right. Set it back to the start, and let's go. Hey, what's up? Thomas Alex Norman here, and in this video, you're gonna learn how to telephoto to another planet. You know, like teleport, telephoto.
This is a great shot to add some dynamicness to interviews, and with the loop function on the Rhino Arc 2, you can keep this movement repeating.
All right, just before we get onto shot number 4, I wanted to give you a bonus, which is going to be setting up a really cool shot using the slider for today's sponsor, which is Cuts Clothing.
We're going to be setting up a slider movement, which we're going to repeat multiple times, whilst in between shots, I change clothes. This is hopefully going to make it look like my clothes are changing whilst I just sit there.
Okay, so now we've got this shot set up, which is a very similar movement to shot number 3, going side to side, except this time we've positioned the table and the slider around so it's actually coming more from the side. The first t-shirt I'm going to be wearing is this one from Cuts, which is the Crew Curve Hem in granite, which is one of my favorites. So let's do it.
We then change clothes and repeat the exact take using the same keyframe movement we already set up with the slider. And again, and again.
All right, so far it's going pretty good. We're just about to do the last take right now in the Black Forest Classic hoodie. All right, so that is the basic idea. Get a single shot of around 10 seconds with the concept being that you don't notice the cuts, but you do notice the cuts. I mean, like, you don't notice the cuts in the editing, but more you notice the cuts, clothing that's changing on me. Done. Get 15% off your purchase at Cuts using the link in the description of this video.
Setup number 4 is going to be panning to follow the peasant, I mean our subject, as he sits down and starts talking. Finally, we're going to be using the full capability of the Rhino system by moving the camera forward in space whilst panning and tilting all at the same time.
Let's try this take. All right, so recording on camera and start the movement. Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and in this video, you're gonna learn how to focus so sharply it becomes automatic. Introducing autofocus by Thomas Alex Norman.
This one feels cinematic because we're tracking our subject as he moves and then seamlessly transitioning into a more typical intro shot. Pretty cool. The final setup is the same movement as the first setup, but this time we're going to be adding objects in the foreground that the camera will move through. This should give us a blurred out foreground feel and add more depth and dynamicness to the shot.
All right, so the slider move is going to be something like this, with the camera moving almost through these two objects, and I think it's going to create a pretty nice effect, so let's try it. Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to slide into my DMs using the Rhino slider system.
I think this might be my favorite, mainly because both the foreground and the background are blurred, and also we have these foreground objects as if they were actually moving themselves out of the shot whilst the camera moves closer to the subject, all at the same time.
All right, that is a wrap. Let me know which setup you liked best in the comments. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. In the description of this video, you will find that link again to Cuts Clothing to get 15% off your purchase with them, as well as a link to join the Live Capture Academy, where our members get an exclusive 10% discount on all Rhino products, among other awesome filmmaking brands. So really pumped to see you there. There's also a link in the description to Rhino's website if you want to check their stuff out. So with that said, guys, until next time, keep filming. Bye-bye.
Keep filming. Bye-bye.
Chad, just go and get fucked.